Hey there, how are you? So today's video is about turning your own pain into your power. I was supposed to do a video on geeks and some other animals, but that will come. But I just needed to get this out there because I know that there are people that need to hear this, and I think the whole idea about YouTube and small YouTubers is about, if you share your story, how somebody else hopefully can gain something out of it. So, pain into power. There is a saying about insanity and its definition, or madness and its definition. And there's a few sources on this. We'll link them in the description. A lot of people, including myself, thought it came from Albert Einstein. I know that Narcotics Anonymous actually use it in their program, and it's one of their big things. But there's also a lady in 1983 that wrote a fictional book, and it was delivered in the course of one of her characters. You need to look that up. There's lots of different versions of where this come from, and in history there's, similar quotes about this behaviour. So today that's what we're talking about, and I hope it helps you. So I'm not talking about family, all right? We've all got those issues and what's going on. But family you're born into, and you've either been through the same traumas or whatever. But they're still your family, and you are still going to do what you do. But I'm talking about the people that you actually pick to be in your life, or they pick you with no real relationship. We'll call them friends, all right? And how people can impact you when you're there for them constantly. And I'm not talking about associates. I'm talking about people you've known for 20, 30, 40 years. And you have consistently turned up for them. And then there comes a time where you're struggling and you need to just hear a kind voice and you call them, or you listen to somebody telling you how they impacted, you impacted their life when nobody else was there for them, and how much they struggled during a certain period. We'll say COVID, because so many people were struggling through that. I myself actually didn't have a problem with COVID, because I actually loved the time just to delve into me and work on my stuff. Now, people that have been here before know about mental health with me, and that I like to talk about it from experience. So we're just going to get on with it. All right. There are graphs that I've seen with all my therapy and whatever, and it's like, you hear, then something impacts you, and you go into grief or sadness, you internalize it, you blame yourself. Then after the sorrow, you actually get angry. All right? So that's really where I'm going, is that we can get to that anger space and we can just explode. And I don't mean you're lashing out with anybody physically or whatever, but verbally you're just like, are you serious? You just not 20 minutes ago told me the impact I had on your life for being there for you. Or they send you a text that I'm your rock, and if you didn't step in and help me over these so many years, that I would be in the gutter or I would be wherever. It doesn't matter, because that's really not the point. The point is those words impact on you. You don't really need to hear them. For me, I will help anybody. I base this channel on not only my mental health experiences and life experiences, but I try to focus on kindness. And the things that, you normally do, if you see a homeless person, you have a choice that you walk past, or if they have a little space for you to give them a couple of dollars, all right, that you do that. Or you ask them, if it's outside a shopping centre, can I help you? Can I get you a drink, or can I get you a meal? Those sort of things. I know people are busy, and I know not everybody does that. I know people are cynical. But what I want to talk about is, say myself, okay? So when these things happen, and I'm a very private person, and I only take few into my heart. But when I take you into my heart, I will do anything to be there for you. To my own detriment, sadly. To my own detriment. So this is the point of all this. When you need somebody after them bullshitting, basically, now we know trauma, we know all of the stuff. We all have this shit going on in one way or another. But when you have continuously for years been there and supported people, and they're blah blah blah, you this, none of that's good to me. All right, they're just words. I feel good about what I do. But sometimes we come to a place where all we need is to have a phone call. When we're in a really dark space and we're dealing with professionals, we're dealing with people that help us, survive in life, but we have these few people that we would like to call friends. They're not associates, because you've been in their lives for a very long time. They've been in yours, where you have dropped things to help them, where you have just let your own things go, all right, to be there for them. And then in the tiniest moment, you just need to be able to have a chat, or you call out to somebody and they turn their back on you. Or they then send you a scripted, convoluted conversations by text telling you how terrible everything is for them and this and that and the other. And I'm sure it is. But you're not part of that. You're part of helping them, all right? And they don't answer your call, or they They send you a text that they're in such a bad place that they can't talk. I've been in bad places, but I've still been able to answer somebody's call. And that has been something in my life where I have let my own importance go to the wayside to help others. Now, I'm not talking about strangers. I'm talking about long-term people. Because strangers say thank you and you walk off, you don't even expect a thank you. You just do it because you want to do it, all right? Because it makes you feel good about you helping somebody else. But when it comes to people that are consistently bullshitting to you, consistently telling you, oh, you're my rock, if I didn't have you, that I don't know where I'd be, or through COVID, nobody else was there for me, and you disrupted your whole life to be there for me. And you ask for something simple, like a couple of words, just acknowledgement, really. And they're just not there for you. I'm the sort of person that I know the problems people have that I've assisted, and I would never put my shit on them, all right? I've put my own shit aside to help them with their shit. What's that? I think I talked about it earlier. The definition of insanity or madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And in my life, I've done that with people. And, wow, that's why we're sitting here. What I want to bring up is, instead of internalising that sorrow, instead of internalising the grief, then it going to anger. And of course, when you say something in front of people that have no idea about the actual reality of a situation, they're going to think you're the mad one, or you're this, or you're that. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. Or, for a few days, like I've been thinking about this. There's been a couple of incidences in my life that have brought me to being here talking about this. I had such beautiful things to talk about, some animals, cakes. Don't worry, there's a video coming about you. And I had all these beautiful things I wanted to talk about. And then after spending 3 or 4 days of internalising my stuff and how people treat me when I treat them in the exact opposite way, all right, I meditated, and I come across in my meditation a bit of a message. Now, I know there's lots of people that don't believe in all that stuff, and that's okay. That is okay. But for me, it brings me solace. And the thing was, for 18 hours, I could not get any rest without the message coming to me that I needed to talk about this. And it's make your sadness, your grief, your anger, your best friend. Use it. Instead of verbalising it. Now, I'm not a person that's going to harm anybody, but I'll never die of a heart attack, because eventually, after a long time of being used or abused by people, because basically that's, even though I didn't see it, that's basically what it is. Instead of exploding instead of feeling shame after it, instead of laying in your bed for days and thinking, I could have handled that so much differently. No, you couldn't, because there's the limit. All right? There's people treat you like that because you allow them to treat you like that. And man, that's the definition of insanity. You're going back for more all the time. You still help those people. It doesn't matter what they've done in your life. They still expect to come to you because nobody else is there for them. Nobody. But you will step in and help manage their issues while putting your own aside. So my point is that we go through that cycle, all right, and we combine them all together. And especially the anger. And instead of putting it out there, because it's not you anyway most of the time, all right? You're probably a person that does so much for other people, all right? The fact is you've been taken advantage of most of the time. And I'm not saying don't do things for people. I am such an advocate, all right, for helping others. But you have to understand the real meaning of reciprocity. If you invest a year, 2, 3, 4 into somebody, surely they can invest a 2-minute phone call to you. Because when it doesn't happen, it puts you in such a dark place that you don't need to be in. All right? How about, and I'm doing it in the future, and it's a really hard thing to do. I've done it before. I've got to these places where I ended up so sick because I internalized all this shit that I starved myself from 75 kilos to 49 kilos. I am 5'9". I have a big bone frame, all right, and I was a skeleton. I just didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to face the world because I couldn't believe the world was such a bad place, that the people that portray themselves as friends, all right, well, not really. They were friends when they needed a friend. They weren't friends when you needed them, all right? So my point about all this is, how about you turn it around? How about that grief, that sadness, that self-loathing, that anger, all right, that you just go, all right, I'm going to use that power. That is powerful. That is super powerful, because when you explode, all right, especially strangers that don't know what's going on, they think, whoa, man, this cunt's crazy. Now, that word will probably have to be cut out. We'll see. We're going to look that up on the guidelines. But they don't know what's happened prior to that explosion and that reaction. They don't know how long you've been there for somebody, how many times you've been there for some bodies. All right? The point is that let's use that, let's funnel that into ourselves. It's okay to forgive. And actually, we all really need to forgive shit. Not for the other people, not for the other situations. We need to do it for us. Because when you can't forgive it or just let it go, all right, it kills you inside. It eats you away. All right? How about we forgive and don't forget? How about when those people let us down, kicked us while we were down, after many, many, many times of you being there for them, how about we use that powerful energy in us? How about every time you think, I need to lose. Now, when I'm talking about weight, I'm not talking about looks because that makes no difference to me. But for your health, there are certain weights, all right, that will make a difference to your length of life, the way you're able to live your life, your fitness, your addictions. How about we turn it around and we go, man, that knife I'm really struggling to pull out of my heart or out of my back. How about we just go, that is going to be the catalyst for me to do something special for me. All right? You need to lose weight. You need to give up drugs. You need to give up alcohol. You need to stop putting others first all the time and make yourself a priority. All right? You need to take care of your mental health. All right? How about you invest that? The non-forgetting is that. So if you need to get up and go for a walk every day to assist your mobility, to assist you in losing weight, to assist your mental health, how about instead of just suffering with it, how about you get up and you use that in your brain? They don't make any difference. They've shown you they are nobody to you. How about you go, okay, take all that energy and invest it in me. Could be anything. It could be getting up and going to work. It could be your exercise. It doesn't matter what it is, all right? But invest that whole cycle into yourself and draw on it. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not a big one for revenge. I could be, and I've been involved with a lot of people that's been a big thing in their lives. All right, I'd rather let it go, especially when it's towards me. All right, if it's towards other people, I will seek justice for other people. But to me, I'll just go, man, is that the best you got? Invest that energy into yourself. Find the things that you need to do for you. Summon up the power of that stuff that has made you grieve, that has made you sad, that has turned you into an angry person, and bring it back home. Bring it back to you. Use it as the reason why you get up at whatever time. I'm not a big person for getting up at 6 in the morning, all right? I'll get up to feed me cat at about 7, and I probably should be going straight after feeding him on a walk, all right? So we're going to see over the next few months how I'm going to, instead of internalising everything that comes from that cycle and punishing myself and then having to start all over again, I'm going to grab onto it and I'm going to say, sorrow, pain, anger, you are my best friend. You are my best friend. You are the best thing that come out of that person or that situation, and use it to make you strive for the things that you love. Don't know what it is. Might be going out picking some flowers, but you've locked yourself away so you don't get to see the beauty of them. It might be going to socialise with people, but you've locked yourself away so you've become a bit of a hermit, all right? Which is, you know, sometimes good, but sometimes really bad if it's to the extreme because you're not socialising. Use it for your exercise, use it for your job, use it for your diet, use it for how you can show love to other people. Use it. Draw on that pain that somebody that's close to you has, whether they know it or not, and they do know it, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt in some situations, all right, When somebody inflicts pain on you, use it to open your heart up to strangers, to people that need a hello, to people that need a hand to lift a bag up a set of stairs, to people that you're never going to see again, but they are going to remember you and they're going to talk about you. They're going to say, that person noticed me when I was struggling. Anyway, guys, it's the most I can say because I'm starting to get emotional, but I'm saying turn your pain, turn your anger, turn everything that anybody deflects on you or you allow them to put on you, turn it into your power. Success is the greatest revenge you will ever have on anybody, all right? When they're sitting back and they're remembering, and they know, these people know, all right? When they're sitting back in their lounge rooms and hopefully, their lives are together or they're with good people or whatever, that they remember when they look at you or they get a glimpse of you achieving your shit, that they mistreated you. That's the greatest revenge you'll ever have on anybody. People want to see you fail. If they're in a shit place, it doesn't matter how good you are to them. They don't want to see you succeed. The people that love you, truly love you, that's all they want for you. And we can mistake that. Anyway, that's it for today. And I'm sorry it's so serious, but it needed to be said. I've been through it many times before. I've done the treat my enemy, all right, being my pain, my sadness, my grief, my internal engines, all right, to drive me to be successful, or internalise them to eat me away. I've been in both pages, and let me tell you, I am preferring this side to be my power engine. Make pain, make sadness, make it your best friend. Learn discernment. Learn it. Thank you.